Did I make the right decision switching from gas to electric? Let's find out. I'm Jax with Pristine Auto Lab and welcome back to the channel. Now, before I begin the episode, let me give you guys a quick disclaimer by saying that neither of these companies have sponsored me, so my review is solely based on my honest opinions and personal experience. Now, you might be wondering, why am I sitting in this weird angle with both generators weirdly sitting inside of the van? That's because this is where I place my EcoFlow Delta Pro generator, and it is hooked up not only to the equipment, but also the alternator charge. And I don't want to unhook everything just to show you how the EcoFlow Delta Pro looks like. Instead, here's a screenshot. Now, I do have my gas generator inside of the van, but that's just for demonstration purposes. I wanted to have it side by side with my electric generator so you can kind of see a little bit the difference between both. Obviously, I'm not going to run this generator inside of the cargo area. In fact, when I had this as my primary generator, I had it on the slide out in the back of the van. And here's a quick screenshot for you. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about what I like about the switch I've made and what I don't like about. So let's get started. I'm going to begin by talking about the pros, and the first thing that comes into my mind is how free of maintenance the EcoFlow generator is. I don't have to do anything other than occasionally charge. And I say occasionally because I have upgraded with what they call the alternator charger. So basically, whenever I have the engine of the van running, it would automatically charge my generator. So when I'm jumping from site to site, my generator will get charged, which is incredible in my opinion. You are already burning gas, so you might as well try to maximize the opportunities, and I love that. Actually, it is a game changer to have the alternator charger. Also, I don't have to worry about changing oils. I don't have to worry about gasoline. I don't have to worry about dealing with clogged carburetors. I don't have to worry about winterizing. None of that. None of that. All I have to do is make sure that I use the generator on some type of frequency. I forgot how long they recommend that you keep it in storage without using it. Also, when you're storing, they recommend that you keep the battery at 60% charge. So, but that's pretty much it. I use this on a daily basis, so I'm not worried about that. The next thing will be how quiet it is. I I barely hear anything. The only thing that makes noise are the fans, but I don't even hear that because, as you can see, the generator is placed inside of my cargo area, and this cargo door is kept closed a lot of the times, and I only have the back doors open when I'm working. So I don't hear absolutely nothing. So that's another great thing to have, because when you're starting early in the morning, 7 a.m., in a community, neighbors might get, not very happy. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Next will be how powerful this thing is. I cannot forget about that because this gas generator is listed at 4,500 watts. The EcoFlow Delta Pro is rated at 3,600 watts with a 7,200 watt surge. Now, I don't know what it is, but one thing I can tell you is that the champion generator, the circuit breaker will always break. Also, another thing is that on these champion generator, you have a button here, a switch where you turn eco mode on or off. But for me, in order to have the pressure washer specifically running with this generator, I would have to have the eco button turned off. The engine of the champion generator running at a higher RPM for it to work. So very annoying. Every time I had to, turn my pressure washer on, I would have to go back to the van, turn off the eco mode, and then use the pressure washer, come back to the van, and then turn on the eco mode again so I can switch to, uh, other equipment such as vacuum cleaner or air compressors. So that was annoying. Now with the EcoFlow Delta Pro, once I have the generator on, and I have my remote control in my hands, I don't even have to worry about coming back to the van to deal with power. That helps tremendously in my type of application. Also, I did run all three equipments at the same time for a short period of time. I never ran for an extended period of time, and the generator never went down. What I did notice though is that the air compressor engine was running a little weaker, but I never had any problem. Now, I never run all three equipments at the same time. Whenever I'm washing a car, I'm not gonna wash and vacuum at the same time. So I'm never gonna be using the pressure washer and the vacuum cleaner at the same time. Two equipments that I kind of use at the same times will be the air compressor and the vacuum cleaner, because sometimes, I'm cleaning the interior with forced air at the same time I'm vacuuming. But yeah, rarely I'll have like all three equipments running at the same time. So if you're a mobile auto detailer and you are worried about power, that's going to give you plenty. My only concern was how much 100% charge would last me throughout the day. And in my business, I'm not a volume type of business. The most I've done in one single day was 4 vehicles. Okay. I've never done more than 4 vehicles, and I refuse myself to do so because my niche is more like a how can I put it? I don't do quick washes. I'm not that $80 type of wash, $60 type of wash. I don't do that. My work is more comprehensive. So usually one job would take 2 hours minimum. But the average is always 3.5 hours. So I've never done more than 4 vehicles. So I got plenty of power, and with the alternator charger, plenty of power. Now, if you're doing 10 vehicles a day, using multiple equipments at the same time, you may at least consider having the alternator charger, but that could not be enough as well. I don't know, depending on how much power and the type of equipment that are going to be using. Now, for what I do, perfect, guys. Perfect. Next will be the user interface, which makes it so convenient. I can control everything, pretty much everything from my phone. All you have to do is download the EcoFlow app and then sync with your devices. I have the generator synced to it, and I also have the alternator charger synced to it. And then you can pretty much see all sorts of information, like how much of a runtime you have, how much percentage power you got, if you're charging, like at what kind of wattage is charging, how long it will take it to charge. You can turn on and off the outlets. You can turn on and off the 12-volt outlet. You can pretty much control everything from your phone. So let me give you guys a quick demonstration. So here's the main screen. As you can see, I got on the left-hand side the alternator charger, and then on the right-hand side the generator itself. Let's go to the generator page. I tap on that. It says time remaining, 10 days and 6 hours, of course, because I'm not running, I'm not using it. Over here, you got input and then output. Input is like when you're charging, it's gonna show you like, you know, what the source is, solar, AC, infinity port, another solar, and then extra battery 1, extra battery 2. Okay. On the output, you can see how much watts the AC are taking. It shows 0 because I don't have anything running right now. And then down below you're gonna see X boot AC, and it has an on and off button. Now it's off. I'm gonna turn it on so you can see turning it on. Here we go. You heard the beeping noise, but again, I turned the outlets on. I only have the charger for my polisher hooked up, but I'm not charging any batteries right now. Then I can turn on the 12 volts outlets on DC. Here we go. And then all the USB, like USB-A, the fast USBs, how much power they're taking if you have anything connected to it. Now let me tap on the alternator charger. As you can see, it's not charging right now because the voltage is at 12.1 volts, the alternator, because it's off, right? So it's not running. So whenever I turn the engine off, the voltage will go up to 14 volts. And I have the device set to start charging as soon as it reaches 13 volts. So, which is, let me show you here. If I click on settings, see here, start voltage 13 volts. So when it hits 13 volts and above, that's when the alternator charger will start charging my device. The maximum output, it's 800 watts. So I have it max. So it will charge it at 800 watts. That's pretty much it, guys. Incredible interface, works well, never had any issues, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so the next thing will be how easy it is to turn on and off. And you might be thinking, okay, what's a big deal of turning it on and off, you know? The gas generator, if you have the one that has the remote, which is not the case here, you can just press the button just as you do with the electric generator. True. However, the one that I have here does not have the remote start. Okay, so meaning it does not have starter. And the only way I could start this generator was by using the pulley. However, I ran into a lot of problems getting this to run after it gets hot, especially during the summertime. I don't know what it is. Probably, from my experience dealing with gas engines, I would say probably it is related to my location. You know, like altitude, how dry it is, and how hot it gets. You know, I think the carburetor was not set to run um, appropriately, because I really had a hard time turning the generator on when the engine gets hot, especially during the summer. I had to crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it many times in order to get the generator back on. So that's something that I don't have to worry about it anymore. I actually contacted that Champion. They said, oh, they sent me a carburetor, didn't work. They sent me a new computer, didn't work. So, yeah, it might be something related to the altitude plus the weather and the dryness of the location. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, if you're planning on having a gas generator, I would suggest that you spend a little more money and get with a remote. That's one thing I regret. But at that time, I did buy during a promotional period, so I paid uh, much cheaper than I would have paid for the one with the remote. So also, the remote didn't feel like was going to be as necessary, because I have to go back to the generator anyways to turn off the eco mode. So what's the point? I felt like, you know. So anyways, not sure. I think I have covered all the pros, I guess, right? Let me think. I don't have anything else to say other than this is an amazing generator. Now let's talk about the cons, okay? And there's only one actually, which is the upfront cost. That's it, guys. That's the only cons that I see on having a EcoFlow Delta Pro generator over the Champion generator. Okay. By the time of this recording, this generator, the Champion, without the remote, is running at around 700 bucks. With a remote, it's gonna be like at around 900 bucks. And the EcoFlow Delta Pro actually price kind of fluctuates, and I've seen it like go under like $2,000, like $1,800, the generator itself. Sometimes $2,100. So you're basically paying double to have a electric generator over a gas generator. However, it pays off quickly, guys. The Champion generator, when I had it running with my business, I was actually averaging like about 9 to 10 gallons of gasoline per week, okay, plus the oil changes. So if you do the math, that generator will pay off very quickly. I feel like within the next 6 months, within a year of usage, I will already have paid off the difference of the upfront cost versus this one right here. So yeah, it's not of my concern. Obviously, you know, you may not have that source. You may not have, even like you're starting a business and you're unsure if you're going to be really invested into this business. So yeah, in those circumstances, I highly recommend that you start off with a gas generator, which is what I did. You know, I wanted to test the waters. I wanted to see if I was headed to the right direction. So I didn't want it to, you know, spend too much money. Also, I didn't have enough money, so I had to start making money in order to be able to, you know, upgrade, you know, and that's the natural progression, right, of a business. So yeah, so if you're starting your business and you're not sure if you're gonna be able to make it through, or if it is what you think it is, you know, stick with the gas. You know, it works well. You know, you have those problems that I mentioned earlier, but it will work. You will get the job done. For me, that's what I like, and I'm not going back to this anytime soon, unless it's for an emergency. All right, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, feedbacks, feel free to drop them down below. I'll be more than welcome to answer all of them. Also, I'm gonna leave by the end of the video some of the specifications of the EcoFlow Delta Pro, so you can refer to if you want to purchase them. Also, links for you if in case you want to support the channel. And lastly, thank you very much for watching, and Here's a quick reminder of why I'm not going back to this anymore. All right, let's get to work. All I have to do. Now I have the generator running. I'm done for the day. Let's turn it off. All right, great. Now with the champion. Oh boy. Turn it over. Here we go. Turn it on. Turn it on. Here we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh boy, I have to turn on my pressure washer, but I need to disable eco mode. Oh, can you hear me now? Woo. Carbon monoxide. Uh-oh. It's gonna get bad in here.